When you hear the name Tim Burton, you know you're in for a wild ride. The question is, what kind of ride? That's all up to where your imagination takes you. With iconic hits like Batman and the original Beetlejuice under his belt, plus his role as producer in the beloved Nightmare Before Christmas, my personal childhood favorite, his influences are undeniable. So, of course, my question of the day, what's your favorite Tim Burton movie, whether he directed it or sprinkled just a little bit of his own magic into it? Lately, Hollywood's been on a roll with sequels and franchise revivals, and they actually been pretty good. We got Twisters, Alien Romulus, now Beetlejuice, the long-awaited follow-up to the 1988 classic. This is going to be a standalone movie review in which I do appreciate Beetlejuice, but I've never been overly obsessed with the franchise, and I haven't seen the original in over at least a decade. So I went into the sequel fresh eyes and ready to experience it all on its own. Thank you for any of the likes, the loves. Even if you don't rock with the movie, your time and efforts are truly appreciated. As always, this review is spoiler free to make sure it's a story you want to see. Let's get into it.
You're gonna keep your word.
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Yes. Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through.
All right, y'all, Beetlejuice is back, and from the very first frame of the movie, you can feel Tim Burton's signature all over it. It's like no time has passed whatsoever, and it really feels like a sequel that came out 2 to 3 years after the original. Sure, the timeline doesn't always add up to the T. You're not in there counting birthdays or anything like that, but the vibe totally checks out. This time around, the Dietz family is reunited under some unfortunate circumstances. And guess who's needed again? It's that man Beetlejuice still scheming to get back into the land of the living. Luckily, or I guess unluckily, who you ask, a perfect storm of chaos sets off, and he's on another wild adventure, blurring the lines between the afterlife and our world once again. Like I mentioned before, not being the hardcore Beetlejuice fan actually worked in my favor. I could just sit back and enjoy the movie on its own merit. And it was a blast. The story strikes as that perfect balance, giving you enough story lore while introducing a fresh new plot to the franchise. There are tons of clever nods to the original, even ones that I could pick up on.
I understood that reference.
But with today's technology, it's clear they cranked up the weirdness and fun even more. The signature Burton grotesque vibe, it's just seamlessly woven into the narrative overall. And it's entertaining from start to finish. That just goes to the pacing of it. The spotlight shines on 3 returning stars, and they don't disappoint. First up, Michael Keaton. He's the chaotic energy that fuels the whole film. He makes it feel like a live-action cartoon right in front of you.
I shouldn't eat crabs anyway. They give me terrible gas. Oh, man. Can you believe this guy?
Yo, this dude be hilarious, yo.
All right, next up, we got Winona Ryder back as Lydia Dietz. And this time, she's got a little bit more to chew on. Now as a mom with a daughter of her own, Ryder brings some added value and depth to Lydia's character, giving us a little bit more glimpse to how she's evolved since the original. And speaking of her daughter, Jenna Ortega steps in with those unmistakable Wednesday vibes, adding a familiar fun and layer to the mix. But my MVP, hands down, Catherine O'Hare as Della Dietz. She's the glue that holds everything together, literally stealing scenes from left to right, even when the spotlight wasn't supposed to be on her. Clearly it was supposed to develop the characters or the plot line. She does an amazing job. And even with Beetlejuice returning, it really felt right that she was there. She was really connecting the pieces and really that final piece that made the story what it was. Now, there's definitely moments where I found myself questioning why certain characters were even in the movie. As the main story unfolded, it felt like they were tossed in to maybe add in a little flavor, but it wasn't always in a meaningful way. Some relationships were key to the plot, but honestly, if a few were left out, it wouldn't have made a much difference of the movie. By the end, I caught myself thinking, oh snap, she still is in the movie. I'll leave you to spot the fluff, but trust me, it is there. Now, the final act, it really felt like it was a wild one. It felt like Burton had a bunch of ideas he had holding on for years. And he got the green light, he got the opportunity, and he unleashed them all on us. The movie dives deep into themes of love, hate, and of course, we don't get to choose our family, but you can find unconditional love there. It also touches a little bit on grief and the journey to overcome it, while all keeping that signature blend of comedy, horror, sprinkled all the way throughout. Burton stayed true to the tone of the original, and you could really appreciate how they kept that classic vibe intact. Now, what do we give Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice. We give Beetlejuice, check the pulse.
Elevated pulse.
If you're a fan of the franchise, you're going to be in for a treat on this one, but it comes with a little caveat. You got to appreciate the quirky, offbeat world that it's set in to really get that full experience. All right, you guys, now it's your turn. What do you think about Beetlejuice? Are you guys a fan? Do you guys have no real interest? What's your guys' overall tone with the character and franchise? Do you guys enjoy Michael Keaton's performance as the character? Let us know in the comments below. We truly appreciate you guys for being a part of our journey. And of course, the best way to support is to like and subscribe today. Turn on those notification bells as we do have these reviews still dropping and give you guys some great insight on these films. And as always, tell someone that you love them today. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.